Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's call. I'm Tammy Ray, Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne, and just so excited to spend this time with you in our Sidelines Unite team call. And the whole reason for this call is just to, go over the basics and get strong on the basics and really just pool our strengths together so that we can all grow our team strong together. And I always love the illustration of the redwood forest and the sequoia trees because they're the tallest trees on the planet. They grow, and last the longest, they live the longest, and yet they have the shallowest root system. And the reason they grow so tall and grow for so long is because their roots intertwine together. And so that's the way I think of Sidelines in Arbonne, is that we can intertwine our roots together and grow strong, tall teams that are made to last. And isn't it fitting that, Arbonne, the name Arbonne actually means beautiful tree. And so we're all part of the same tree. We might be on different branches, but that's the culture of Arbonne, that we complete each other, we don't compete with each other. And so that's what this call is all about, is to just come together and go over the basics. And you guys, even if you didn't have an upline, you have enough with the website, with Arbonne, your Arbonne website and the source, 1-800-ARBONNE, the beautiful websites that are all out there, our NVP website, with our amazing SoundCloud calls. I mean, you have everything you need to build a business strong. So this is just like a little extra cherry on top training to go over the basics. And, as Donna Johnson says, that when we increase our skill, we increase our results. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is the skill of working from our 100-person list. And our system is, just to talk to 40 faces a month, right? And however reach out method that works for you. For me, it was doing 2 group presentations a week and 2 one-on-ones and 2 sample packs. And so, that's kind of the breakdown. And Leslie's going to give us a little weekly breakdown in a little bit, and just, how she blends Arbonne into her everyday life. But first I want to go over our 100-person list. And I know maybe you're like me, that you think, oh, I'm going to get on this training and learn some magic tip and some secret that I don't know about. And people in Arbonne who have the white Mercedes must have access to more information than I have. Well, really, no. It's just we're humble enough to start learning the basics and become masters of the skills that it takes. And so I just want to actually start with a little passage from GoPro. Does everyone have this book? Raise your hand if you have this book. It's amazing. And really, again, we just need to use the tools that we have and study them like we're getting a law degree or something. So really, I mean, it's easy to read a book. It's not so easy to go through it and implement it and really, really study it. So I'm on page 33, and Eric Worre says that I began to study the people who had built large and successful organizations. I found that the professionals approached finding people to talk to as one of their core skills. It was part of their job to find new people. They weren't interested in luck. They weren't worried about running out of people. They developed the skill to make sure that never happened. The professionals started with a written list, but then they made the focused commitment to never stop adding to that list. And so that's what we're going to cover tonight, is our 100-person name list. And that's really, again, where we start our business. And it's much like opening a store, a restaurant, a boutique. We're writing down the people that we would want to invite to take a look at our business and to share what we're doing and share our excitement. And, oftentimes when we initially get started in Arbonne, we have great success with our launches and talking to our warm market, the people who are close to us, our family and friends. And then around month 4 or 5 or month 10, or maybe in your second year, I don't know where you are, but we get to this lull, right? And And I hear over and over these phrases, and just let me know if this is you, or maybe you've said this, or maybe you've heard someone on your team say it, that, we just get to this little hurdle and we say, I can't get any events booked. No one wants to book with me. No one will host for me. No one will call me back. Or no one is coming to my events. So by raise of hands, who's ever heard that? Or who said it? Or who's felt it or experienced it, right? So I know that, at least for me, that was one of my huge hesitations in Arbonne. I didn't want to be that annoying Arbonne consultant, that people would turn away from or talk about me behind my back. And it really prevented me from talking to people initially. I was nervous to talk to people because, I just didn't want that impression. I didn't want people to run away from me. But I think the reason that this happens is because we're asking the same people over and over, right? We're looking at our list of names, and it might be someone that was initially excited at first, but then they're not answering their phone, or calling you back, or who knows what, and you just keep inviting the same people over and over. It's like a loop. And guess what? We're inviting the same people. We're asking the same people hosts. We're continuing to talk to the same people. And I see this a lot because, there might be a group of people you see the most often, like the people you work with. And so those are the people you're talking to the most. And guess what? They're the ones that aren't answering your calls and aren't coming to the things that you're inviting them to, because the theme is you're talking to the same people, right? So, and I had to take a hard look at how I was doing my business too. So this isn't pointing fingers. This is just, I'm learning too. So one of the most pivotal things that we can do in our business is to grow and to have new people, right? I think we can all agree we want to grow. So the way we grow is by talking to new people. So calling the same person over and over is probably going to get you the response of that person not calling you back. So our 100-person name list really needs to be a healthy, living, breathing, thriving document, right? And what that looks like to me is that it's something that I keep with me all the time, and I add to it consistently. I have my list in a little journal, and I'll write the person's name, their contact info, what we talked about, where we met, and the next action step that I'm going to take or that I have taken. I write if I gave them a sample then, or if I need to drop off one or put one in the mail, or, I just kind of like write notes to myself. And if I don't have my journal list right with me, I put it in my phone in the memo section, and then I'll transfer it to my little journal list that I have going. And so this is some of the people that I meet are in my mind as a candidate for sponsoring that month. So that goes on my monthly list too, to check back with these people, because they were like the ones that were extra interested, right? So they would go on my, top priority list because they're going to be a candidate for sponsoring that month. So the first step in adding to our 100-person name list is to make sure that we're continually rewriting it. So let me emphasize, we always want to be rewriting our list. And I really like to do that by looking at this list and asking myself, have I actually talked to these people? Because sometimes we write names down that we think of, but then, nothing comes of it. We just thought of them and that's it, nothing more. So I have to actually talk to them. And if I've reached out to them in some capacity about Arbonne, then what I like to do is move them off the list, right? Because we want this list to be constantly evolving. So my list of 100 names usually ends up, interestingly, being right around 40 people. And it's just so fascinating to me how that, again, fits exactly with our system of talking to 40 people a month. So there's 40 people that I'm actually engaging with about Arbonne at any given point. And, it's like the people you hear this, that you're keeping in your funnel, you're just touching back. The timing might be off. They're, whatever. There's people that I met last month that have then rolled over to this month's list. Does that make sense? But I'm still talking to them. And so what I do is, start at the top, figure out my reach out method, whether I'm sending a video, dropping off samples, inviting them to a DA, asking them to host, asking for a coffee appointment, and even asking for a referral. If that's, if I've gone through everything else and that's all I know to ask, then I'll ask for a referral. So if they're becoming a new PC, that's awesome. They're going to come off my 100-person list and then be in our database, right? So they will go into a follow-up system at that point. So they'll be coming off the list and into follow-up. Or if they're hosting, obviously we hope that they're going to be a PC or a client or a consultant, from hosting. So again, they're going into a follow-up list. So maybe they've said no to hosting and they've said not right now to everything else. So when I get a no, I'll generally ask to follow up in a certain time frame. So it might sound something like this. I hear you, Sally, totally get it. Would it be okay with you if I touch base with you again in 3 months? And then guess what? They come off my list and they go in my calendar 3 months from now. Does that make sense? So again, it's an evolving list and we're just trying to get people to move in and move off your list. Often, if we get a no to take a look at the business, a no to host, a no for sampling, usually the no is tied to timing, right? And that everything in Arbonne is dependent on timing. And so again, we'll just say, I hear you. Do I have your permission to follow up with you in a month or two? Or, you name the time. But 99% of the time when we ask permission to check back, they're going to say yes to it. And then we can move them off our list and into our calendar. So in your calendar, in my calendar, when I move them off my list, I'll include their contact information right there so I don't have to scramble around looking for it. Oh, hold on, let me see if I can mute. 1 second here. There we go. So yeah, so I'm going to move them off the list and into my calendar and write their contact information right there, why I'm contacting them, to a memory jogger so that you remember the reason that you need to call them that month. And then, you know what, you can feel good because you're not constantly asking them to, to come to this, to do this, can you host or whatever. They're off your list. You're going to do the right thing and contact them later, and perhaps it'll be a better time later. The other thing it does is it frees up our minds. I think sometimes, at least for me, when I look at a list, that's really full, you feel a little overwhelmed and you feel paralyzed. I don't know, does anyone ever feel that way? So then you don't get anything done because it's just too much of a list. So I love that too, moving people off my list so that I can, focus on the things that really matter. This is a good one. So the next group of people on our list are those who don't call us back. They don't respond to texting or Facebook messages or voicemails. And I'm sure that never happens to any of us, right? Who has people right now that aren't calling you back? Hello, let me put 2 hands up. Yes. So this creates a great opportunity for us to create our own timeline for these dear souls that just don't know what they don't know yet, right? So we're going to move them off our list into whatever you think is appropriate. 1 month from now, you'll invite them to another healthy happy hour. 1 month from now, you'll invite them to another DA. Maybe 3 months from now, you'll check back with them and remind them, I remember you saying that you were interested in the whatever, anti-aging. So use that at your discretion. I find that a lot with like vendor events where you get a stack of contacts and, you're trying to do the right thing by following up, but sometimes people answer, sometimes people don't. You don't really have that good relationship established. But I try to just always remind them, I remember you told me that this is what you were interested in, and I'm so happy to help you with that. So, but again, it's going to free up your mind and free up your list. And again, we know that timing is everything. So it doesn't mean that these people at some point will not be part of your business. It just means not right now. So when people are not responding back to us, remember that they're telling us now is not a good time. And I was actually pretty persistent following up with some people that I met at a vendor show. And it honestly was, once I finally got them on the phone, they told me, you know what, I have surgery next month. I have this and this going on with my kids and whatever. And it honestly was, I was like, oh. And I kind of felt bad, like, oh, I've been pretty persistent here, but they generally do have a lot on their plate. So just to like be cool, stay in touch, make every touch with that person a positive experience. And, you know, I've messaged back several times, how did your surgery go? I hope everything went well, whatever. But just get permission, give yourself permission to move them off your list and send them love, and just realize that now is not a good time. It doesn't mean not forever. It just means not now. So if it's someone who's been on your heart, like they would be a great fit for the business or hosting or products or referrals, move them to your calendar, circle back, and feel good about following up with them at a designated time. So what does your 100-person list look like? To me, it's a weekly rewrite, because don't things evolve constantly in our business? Oh my goodness, I just moved, so my list is everything. It's my lifeline. I mean, I am like literally starting over in a new place. So I'm just obsessed over names on that list, and I keep adding and talking to people and scratching out and adding. And it's pretty invigorating and fun, because I'm not, this is just what we do in our business, right? I'm not like trying to figure out what to do. I'm just following our system, and this is part of our system. This is actually the first skill that Eric Worre talks about in GoPro, is your list, and how this is your blueprint and your business plan for your business. So I'm constantly rewriting it. And then when you keep that list with you, you can go about your day and with a clear conscience and call people on that list throughout your day as it fits in. Does that make sense? So that you're not in this like crazy Arbonne mode, like trying to, call 25 people at once. You're calling them throughout your day as your day evolves as well. So you're just doing what you need to do to grow your business in all parts of your day. And so I want to address some other statements that I hear frequently we all hit hurdles in our business, right? Like no one has this like easy path where people are knocking on our door and saying, I want to be an Arbonne consultant with you. Like, it just doesn't happen that way. Maybe to Leslie, but I don't know. It's just, for a lot of us, we really have to work our business. And so I hear the phrase, I've called everyone. I don't know who else to call. Has anyone ever felt that? No one? Okay, all right, a few of us, all right. So here's the deal. The men and women who thrive and grow incredible teams in Arbonne are those who are constantly adding names to their list. So for example, and it's all about just having an awareness of what's going on around you. And like, for example, yesterday I took my dogs. We have like a dog beach in Harbor Springs. It's so cute. So all these dogs come and play together. And so I'm just, the dogs are running around. I'm just talking to the person next to me. It's that easy. We have something in common. We live here, chit-chatting. And she's a hairstylist in town. I'm like, really? I need someone to do my hair. And she's really cute, really nice, and so easy. We exchanged numbers, got contact information. She said, how is it that you moved up here, and you're working from home? What do you do? And so it was just like a really natural, organic conversation. And I said that, I teach people how to have their own online business, and my passion is helping moms not have to put their kids in daycare, because she was just telling me how she hated putting her kids in daycare, and most of her money that she's making is going towards childcare, and she works 6 days a week at the salon. So I'm like, check, she's high on my list right now. So I got her contact information. I got her permission to send her a video. We're Facebook friends now, and I'm dropping samples off to her on Monday, tomorrow. So, I mean, that was just an easy, organic, we were standing there doing the same thing in the same place, in the same town. Like, it was just an easy, natural conversation. There's another lady who does our flowers here, and she knows I do Arbonne already, and so I said to her, I'm looking forward to getting Arbonne rolling in this area. Who do you know that I could talk to? And she just turned to me and she says, well, I want to talk to you about it. And I'm like, really? I was so excited. So I already did a one-on-one appointment with her. I'll see her again on Tuesday. I mean, it's just like, it can just be so organic, just the people that that you're around. I met someone hiking behind Boyne with the dogs. I talked to a waitress recently and gave her a sample pack, and I'm following up with her to see if she can plug into Carol's Healthy Happy Hour. So it's just, these are just people in my path all around me every day. Those are the people that we're talking to and that we're adding to our list, right? I'm still talking to the guy who sold me my phone last month at the AT&T store. He's a personal trainer, so I'm still in touch with him. I'm in touch with people that I've talked to like 2 years ago who were interested in the business, and it just wasn't the right time. And it wasn't for a particular man because he went through cancer and everything. Now he's on the other side of that, and he's actually really interested. Things have changed, and we've just stayed in contact. So when we start our business, it's all about our warm market, our close friends, our family. However, we are not going to rely on our close friends and family to keep us in business, right? So our list needs to evolve from our warm market to our lukewarm market as quickly as possible. So let's look at what your lukewarm market is going to look like. Maybe it's people who you do business with. Maybe it is your hairstylist, your esthetician, your dry cleaner. Maybe the people who clean your carpets, your neighbors, people at church, people at the gym. What about your kids' friends' parents, your spouse's friends, your spouse's coworkers, your waitress? What about getting out and doing what you love and just meeting people naturally that way? I ended up actually meeting Melinda, who's the biggest leg in my organization right now, but it was actually when I was in a slump in my business. I had been in area qualification. My whole team decided to do other things beside Arbonne. I did not finish area, and it was a little bit of a slump, I have to say, in my heart, in my spirit, in my business. And I had to decide, to just meet new people. Like, it's not me. I just need to go out and meet new people. And maybe that's where you guys are right now. Well, I enjoy running. I'm a runner. I always have been. And so I decided to go check out the local running club and see where they run. I was curious of what paths they were running on and stuff. And so I went to this running group and went on maybe 4 different runs, so maybe like for a whole month I was part of this group. I never ended up joining, but I met people there. And one of those people that I met led me to Melinda about 6 months later. And so you think of that. I mean, I'm so grateful that I didn't just stay stuck, and in the past, my habit was business is great. I'll keep doing Arbonne. Oh, business is not great. I'm going to take a break. This time I decided, okay, I'm not going to take a break. I'm committed to this, and I just need to meet new people. Where can I meet new people? By doing things that I enjoy. So I'd love to, I just wanted to add one more point. So when we're, as we're maneuvering through summer now, we're going to barbecues, graduations, summer get-togethers, and oftentimes we'll get all hung up like, oh, what do I say? What do I say? But I loved Jody Whittemore's advice on the Go for Gold call yesterday, and she said, don't think so much about what to say. Think about what kind of questions to ask. Because that's really, when we get hung up, it's just because we don't know enough. So ask more questions, and then, that opens the world. Carol Bodell said it to me this way just recently, that, you're in a power position, when you're asking questions and you're finding out the information, because then you know exactly how to position Arbonne, right? But we need to ask, like we need to hear them say, oh yeah, because they'll say their job, and my favorite response is, oh, do you love it? And most people are like, I don't know, I don't know. And just ask more questions. Tell me about that. Wow, that must be hard. It's like they need to hear themselves say how much they dislike their situation, right? And then we can offer a solution. So I'm just going to hand the baton over to Leslie for a minute. I'd love to hear the point 4 from GoPro, and then how you blend Arbonne into your everyday life, maybe some stories that you have, and like a weekly focus plan for working our system. Love to hand it over to you, Leslie.
Okay, thank you, Tammy. So hello, everyone. How you doing? I'm so excited for this Sunday night call. I love it. It's one of my favorite calls for sure. So I just want to share with you that for those of you who don't know me, I'm an introvert. So actually adding to my 100-person list is very intentional activity. I've been in Arbonne for 11 years now, and I feel like I've had 11 years of training in this area, and I'm getting better and better every day in every way. One of the things I like to say is our former president used to say is everyone within 10 feet, the 10-foot rule. So if you're taking notes, I would write that down, the 10-foot rule. And be prepared and have the skills and be ready. Have it so it rolls off your tongue. And part of that is just like Tammy said, you're listening to the Go for the Gold. You're listening to the Learn and Burns, and you have that lingo, and it's on the tip of your tongue, and it's in your heart as well, because you know that Arbonne is a gift. Part of that is a mindset. And I'll give you a really good example. Just a few hours ago, we had the U.S. Postal Service come down our driveway, not at the mailbox, and getting ready to hand me 2 packages. And I'm like, am I crazy, or is today Sunday? And she said, yeah, we just signed a contract with Amazon to deliver packages on Sunday. And I said, really? I hadn't heard that. She said, it's always good to earn extra money. I really need it. And I said, really? I said, you know what? That's one of my specialties, is I help people earn extra money while they're doing what they normally do so that they can eventually quit doing that. And I said, you know what? You know where I live. My hands were dirty. I had garden stuff all over me. And she said, you know what, I might just put a note in your mailbox with my contact information. I said, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. So that's part of the 10-foot rule. And I also want to say part of the magic of Arbonne is being able to use the law of attraction, right? We attract our team and who we are. So take notice of who literally is calling you, who's walking towards you, like literally walking towards you. And be curious, ask questions like Tammy was saying, and get ready to offer them a solution to whatever is paining them. Because I guarantee you, law of attraction is putting those people in your path who you're supposed to be serving. And if you're like me in the past, you might just shut down. And you're like, I wish I would have said something. 10 minutes later, a half hour later, you're like, I could have said this, I could have said this, I could have said this, right? That's the part of being ready and being intentional about your business, and those skills will come. It'll be on the tip of your tongue. It'll be right there, and I'm glad I'm seeing some nodding heads. But adding to your 100-person list is key to the growth of your business. And I treat it like a game. I treat it like the universe is throwing me people who I'm supposed to serve with my skills and my heart. And shame on me if I don't do that. If I don't be there for that person in a way that I know I can support them. Shame on me for not offering the gift of Arbonne, offering the gift of myself and what I know. But point number 4 that we're talking about in the GoPro here that Tammy asked me to cover is on page 37. And it's really on network on purpose. Like I said, when I first started Arbonne, I was awful at this, and I was super shy. I knew 4 people who might try the products or look at the business. All 4 said, no way, Jose, you're crazy. Get out of here, basically. And they were friends and family. So, and I had a vision for my life that I knew they just didn't know what they didn't know yet. So I kept pushing on. And thank God I did. And I started networking on purpose. I joined at least 3 Chamber of Commerces. I joined at least 2 networking groups, including a BNI, and I took Toastmasters so I could get over myself and start talking to people and being my authentic self and sharing my story and sharing the message and sharing everything that I had for people to live a better life. But part of it is in the training that we've gotten before is, like Tammy said, do what you love. Do what you love, because you're going to go do that anyway. Maybe it's play tennis. Go play tennis. And when you're there, be ready to share Arbonne. There's plenty of opportunity to share Arbonne if you love tennis. If you love to read books, join or start a book club. If you're scared to death of leadership and speaking in public, join Toastmasters. Number 1 tip, if you don't have enough people to talk to, join Toastmasters. And especially if you're an introvert, it will change your business like it did mine. Highly, highly, highly recommend that. What other things do you guys love to do? Maybe you love gardening. Join a garden club. Meetup.com. Meetup.com is one of my favorite things to do because it's free and it gathers all like-minded people in one place automatically for me. I don't have to do any work. So that's a perfect fit for you if you need to find some place to go network more and add to your 100-person list. Meetup.com is a wonderful place as well. And I just want to go over one more thing, and it's about batting averages. Anybody here a fan of baseball? My husband is. I can't say that I am. I like the stories behind the baseball players, like are they married? Do they have kids? All that stuff, the relational stuff. But I watch the baseball, and you know what? Miggy has a .365 batting average right now, and that's one of the highest, right? And do you know what that means? Every 3 or 4 times up to bat, he's actually going to connect with the ball, like what he's paid millions of dollars to do. 3 out of 4 times out of 10, he's going to actually connect with the ball. And so you have to look at your Arbonne business the same way. You're going to get 6 or 7 no's for every 10 people you talk to. And that's even if you're skilled. I think the averages go up in your favor when you get more skills and you know what to say and you're comfortable in your own skin, because it's all about who you're being, not what you're saying, right? Because I can say, oh my gosh, Arbonne's the best thing on the planet. I love it. What's in the products? I don't know. How much do you get paid and how do you get paid? I don't know. But you got to join me. It's so awesome. You see, enthusiasm and confidence. You don't have to know everything to do this business. But what you do have to do is have the being straight. You have to have your heart and your head straight, that this is a gift for other people. So batting averages, keep that in mind when you're doing Arbonne, and don't let the no's define you. Think about when you get, let's say, 20 no's in a row, what I want you to think about is that one yes you got maybe a week ago. And I want you to think about that one yes and how they know between 200 and 2,000 people, and how they can be, like Tammy has said, they can lead you to the next person who leads you to the next person. And Tammy, I hope maybe you can share Trish Jasinski's latest post about how she met a gal 7 or 8 years ago and how that turned into potentially a new business partner, or it is a new business partner in New Zealand. So with that, I'll just turn it back to you.
Was it 9 years ago? She said
9 years ago.
At the airport, and then they ended up spending time together in Australia. And the woman said, if Arbonne ever goes to New Zealand, keep me in mind. And sure enough, she's a new consultant in Arbonne as of May, or as of June 1st, whenever it opened, yeah, or June, whenever it opened, June
2nd, yeah.
Second, yeah. Anyway, recently, she's a new consultant, and that's just, again, a testament to how Trisha keeps people a priority and, keeps them in the pipeline. And even if you're not talking to them every day, it could be once a year you touch base with someone, and that's okay. That's perfectly perfect if that's the kind of relationship that you need to have with that person. But just feel good about it. I guess the whole point of this call is to feel good that you're, keeping people in the pipeline and keeping your 100-person list refreshed every week, and making it a priority to be mindful everywhere you go. Did you want to bring up the weekly focus so that would you guys be interested in seeing just how to, again, implement our system into a weekly focus guide?
Yeah, so we talk about the 40 names and how we really want to be in front of 40 sets of eyeballs every month. And those 40 sets of eyeballs hear the complete story of Arbonne, right? They're from our 100-person list, but our goal on a monthly basis, to get real practical about this, is 40 sets of eyeballs that you're sharing Arbonne with. And then we can break that down into a weekly. So I'll just hand it back over to you, Tammy, to go over this.
Yeah, so I just love this because sometimes, again, you think, oh, 40 faces, that's so much, or, you just kind of melt over the enormity of the task at hand. But really, I think if we can break it down for ourselves and for people on our teams, it just seems easier to wrap your head around. So things to do each week: schedule 2 events. And you know what, you guys, when I was new, I would schedule 2 and one of them would cancel or one of them would reschedule. And so I was always trying to shuffle in more activity, or the people who weren't able to come, I would call them and say this exact verbiage: I'm sorry that this date didn't work for you. What day would? And I would try to book a coffee appointment with them or drop off an RE9 set for them to, use in their home for a few days, or drop off just a sample pack, whatever you could do to just kind of keep the momentum going and the ball rolling. So my rhythm is 2 events a week. And again, I'm in a new place now, so I'm working on one-on-ones right now to then hopefully turn into presentations. And that's a way to get the ball rolling too. 2 prospecting appointments, 2 250 consultant or 150 PC signups. And that too generally comes after you've shared a sample pack or an RE9 set or a fit kit to trial. And then giving out your RE9 samples. This has 5 samples a week. I was only doing a couple, but I have noticed now if I up my sampling, I do have more people on my list to follow up with and talk to and, present the business to. So I really love samples. It's just a way to kind of fill in some gaps. And then following up with 5 past clients. I love having that written down because sometimes, again, you just get a little scrambled in your week to week, everyday execution of your business. So it's nice to have those reminders like, oh yeah, I need to follow up with people, write thank you notes, all of those things. So and then it has the reminder to do your personal development, because we know, I love how Leslie said that, who we are being is who we are going to attract. So that's what personal growth is, you guys, is just learning how to be a better person, to handle situations that are uncomfortable, to be around people that maybe we don't have anything in common with, and yet forge a relationship with them, and it just, I love that this business is a personal growth business disguised as health and wellness, right? And then this just gives you a way to track your weekly volume and your new consultants and PCs on your dashboard. So what do you think? Do you guys like that? And then, what's the next page? Is that just... Oh, I see. The 6 most important things to do for your business before you go to bed. Make your list. Donna Johnson's so big on that. And I love it because, again, I think it just helps you clear your mind so that you're not, your mind isn't racing, trying to go to sleep. It's like, oh, okay, I know what I need to focus on first thing tomorrow. And I'm going to check those things off. And it just gives you, I love asking the question, what's the most important thing I could do today to move my business forward? And it just sort of clears the clutter. And it's like, oh, I need to call these 2 people for sure and follow up with these 2, whatever. And then the rest is just gravy. So before we close,
I think there's something really special about making that list before bed, because your subconscious mind will work on those tasks during your sleep. So try not to do it the next, what you need to do that day, that morning, do it the night before, because it's really quite a lot more effective that way.
I do. Thank you for reminding us that. Thank you. I'd love to open it up for any questions or comments or discussion, and just remind us all that I believe our contact list was given to us by God. I believe that these are the people in our life for a reason, and it's unique to us. There isn't one other person on the planet with our contact list. No one else, even if someone next door to you was doing Arbonne as a business, they didn't go to your high school. They didn't go to your church. They didn't go, grow up like you did. And they don't have the same Facebook friends or the same contacts in your phone as you do. So just, embrace it. Be empowered. I want us to get out of this victim mindset of, oh, I don't have anybody, or, oh, no, we have everything we need right in our grasp. We just have to step out and do the right thing and talk to people, right? So does anyone have questions or comments or any aha moments? Karen, hi Karen, did you want to add anything? Yeah, can you unmute yourself? I'm so glad you're here.
It's so funny. I just wanted to listen tonight because this is what I'm going to do this week.
Good.
For me, just, redo it all.
Rewrite your list.
Yeah, well.
That tells me you're a pro, Karen.
Yeah, and you're a national vice president. And so, just illustrates that we all do the same thing no matter what the level.
Yep.
The activity is the same. It doesn't change.
And it's fun.
Exactly.
Fun. I love it. Anybody else have anything to add? Yay. Or any questions or any obstacles that you're running into?
I have a question.
Sure.
When you have all these names that pop up and you're constantly adding, so you've got like 40 new names, I started a system that finally I have something that works for me. What do you use to keep all those names organized? Well, you're moving them from, I'm calling you in 30 days and calling you in 3 days.
Well, I have my contact journal, which is nice because it kind of goes in chronological order of when I met them, which, that's nice to refer back to sometimes. But yeah, I'm just trying to move people. I have like a monthly, I don't have it right in front of me, but I have like a monthly sort of like my own goal sheet of the bonuses that I want to achieve, the sponsoring that I'm shooting for, people I want to help get into Strong Start, whoever's in District Qual on my team, my priority list of like, hopefully there'll be potential sponsoring candidates or people I'm just like keeping close in my pipeline to keep in contact with. So I have that list of people. So anyway, I have like my monthly focus, which still evolves throughout the month. We all know your month isn't what you think it's going to be ever. And so that's all evolving. But really, Diane, I just write it out. I write it out and it changes. It changes week to week. It changes month to month. And it's nice to kind of refer back 2 months ago. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about that person. Let me put them on this month too, because I never did get a hold of them. Or, goodness, last month I had several people that were candidates for being in qual for district and things, and they had deaths in the family. They were hospitalized. I was just like, oh my gosh, we're going to talk to you later. You take care of you, those they weren't on my list last month, and now they'll be back on, once I know that everything's okay with them. So it's just evolving. Really, it's evolving all the time, but I handwrite it because I believe, it's not even my belief, it's a scientific fact that when you write something, it activates your brain. Just the act of writing out names and writing out your intentions and your goals, it activates your brain. You're more likely to reach goals. You're more likely to remember things. So I just believe in writing things down and looking at them and touching them and praying over them. And does that make sense? I don't know if that helps. I'm not really like a computer system person, but I do have a lot of people written on lists. I don't know. Did that answer your question or help in any way, Diane?
It helped, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything? I just love you guys for being here. Thank you. This is the community. We're a community of support to each other. And I believe every single person on this call has what it takes to be a national vice president. And we're going to be the next generation of MVPs together. So just know that. I see it. That is my vision. So here's the deal. Success is here for all of us. It's all here for the taking. our list, our contacts, I believe, were placed in our life for a reason. So I believe that we need to feel grateful for them, just be grateful. And the amazing thing is, the people that we're connected to may not be the people that are on our team, but they're going to lead us to the people who will be on our team. I mean, I think of, again, I feel so much gratitude for Kathy Ray for just working her 100-person list, because she met a chiropractor at a vendor show years ago and kept in touch with her, ended up doing healthy living events at the chiropractor's office. One of the chiropractor's patients, named Yvonne, attended and became a consultant. Yvonne talked to her sister Jeanette, who became a consultant and was the secretary that I worked with, and she shared Arbonne with me. So Kathy had no idea that that chiropractor would lead to her future regional vice president, direct to her. But because she followed up on her contact list and kept reaching out until she had an appointment and had an event, and so we need to keep that in mind, that our contact list is gold, and it's here for us. It's unique to us, and it's been blessed. It's been written. I mean, it's all here. Like, we just need to treat it with respect, and it will respect us back. We need to treat it with the greatest, highest, utmost value. And, you think about it, the number one reason people join our business is what?
Somebody asked them.
That's right. And the number one reason that people don't join our business is?
Nobody asked them.
There you go. So make sure that we're asking everyone. Ask everyone. So here you go. There's no secret tip tonight. You have everything you need. I hope you all feel empowered and no more victim mode. We're not victims of our circumstances. We're change agents, and we have a gift to offer people that has the potential to give them so much more than they could ever dream or imagine. And you guys, mark my words, if you keep plugging into the system and you're diligent and you're committed to the process and you're true to the process, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your life is going to look so different. So just keep that in mind. As long as we keep doing the right thing for the right reasons for long enough, the right people are going to join our team, and they're going to be right on time. So love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope that was helpful, and just can't wait to be with you again. Love you.
Bye.
Good night.
See you Wednesday morning.
Yeah.